Hey guys, it's day 89 and I am back in Toronto and I am back on Park Lane Circle in the Bridle Path. It's getting darker earlier now. Apologies for the late start. Had a basketball tournament to attend to. I wanted to talk a little bit about Palantir today. I've tweeted about it this week. And Palantir is probably ground zero in the stock market right now for why some people argue that there's an AI bubble at the moment. I don't believe there is. But the thing that the bubblists always point to is the forward price to revenue multiple for Palantir. $500 billion market cap company, yet trades at 89 times, 88 times forward revenues for next year, which traditionally has been the signs of a bubble, the signs of a top. And yet, I don't think it is. Here's why. It all comes down to a word that Alex Karp keeps using in his interviews called ontology. What is ontology? Ontology is basically a structured system for how information flows and workflows within an organization, an enterprise especially. And it's sort of a mapping out of that organizational flow, the ideal organizational flow. Most organizations today are filled with disparate info systems, disparate databases, tribal knowledge, and a hodgepodge of info that the AI systems can't use. And what happens when AI systems can't use all the data that exists within an organization? You get hallucinations, just like we experience in ChatGPT. When we type something in and we don't get the ideal response. It's probably 65% right, but there's that 35% where we know intuitively that it got it wrong. And we have to come back, clarify, point out the mistakes, ask it to try again a second or third or fourth time, and before it gets that pitch perfect response. The same thing happens in enterprises. And so what Palantir has done is it solves that problem and basically goes through all the workflows, whether it's working for a government agency or an enterprise, and fixes that until the data sings and the AI works flawlessly. That is a labor-intensive process. It leads to an explosion of revenue at a later date once everything is perfected. And therefore, in the early days of the S-curve, the revenue ramp looks exceedingly slow or flat, and yet the valuation is rising much faster. Is that a sign of a bubble? Or is it a signal that the investors, in this case, many retail investors, but I'm sure there are some smart institutional investors as well, have caught on to this phenomenon early and are rationally pricing it in to the stock price. They are rationally pricing in a later explosion of revenue growth. I think that's exactly what's happening with Palantir. And here's the kicker, I missed it. I didn't invest in Palantir. I wasn't banging the drum on Palantir the way Dan Ives was, or the way I was about Carvana. I didn't understand it. I bought into the Wall Street hype that it was too expensive, it was irrationally exuberant, it was a defense contractor, it was a low margin business, not a repeatable software kind of SaaS-like business. That was completely wrong. That was a canard, and that's what everyone has missed, including all of the so-called smart money. Retail got it, and it was rational. Just like the 1997, 98, 99 period, in some respects, the dot-com bubble was rational. It did make sense that so much value was created in the stock market. When you think about how much future value was unlocked in that moment with the advent of the internet and really the explosion of the internet. Oftentimes, the market is super smart, super far thinking, much smarter than the average Wall Street folk is thinking. So I missed it. But I made this point yesterday on Natalie's podcast. We can't go back to 2007 and invest in Apple again. We can't go back to 2009 and read Satoshi's white paper and then immediately start mining Bitcoin. It's gone, okay? But I also notice I get so many people that say, oh, I missed Iron. Oh, I missed Cypher. Oh, I missed Open because I didn't get in at 50 cents. If you're at the beginning of a very long ramp, it doesn't matter that you missed something. What matters is that you understand what went on and that you learn from it and that you make the most of it. We got to do that here with Palantir to find the future Palantirs. I'm not saying rush in now to buy Palantir. I'm saying understand the power of knowing what ontology means, what Alex Karp is talking about, and you can build your future rising dynasty.